What's going on, it's your boy JT and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. This is, of course, we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. And we have a little talk about it, and today is a big day because we are 2 days away from our first away game of the season against the mighty Arsenal, and I thought it was only fitting to bring in my guy, Laurie, Lyle of DR Sports, AFTV, and of course, LL Sports TV, the main man. Great to have you here. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Normally when me and you are chopping it up, it's about boxing, but here we are, man. 2 days away from Leeds getting knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. What he doesn't realise is we recorded about 10 minutes ago and he's repeated my own line on me there. So, as you said, a bit of original content might be good, but as you said, you will be getting statched and dispatched this Saturday. But obviously an opening, I do have a bit of confidence around that, but we will get into that in a little bit. Obviously, I want to start with Arsenal. We are playing you on Saturday. Of course, you had an opening game against Man United, which was relatively unconvincing, to say the least. You got the win, people lauding you a set-piece FC or whatever, but wasn't necessarily the most expansive, free-flowing football that you'd like to see for potential Premier League candidates. How do you think you're going to fare this weekend? Do you expect to see more of the same? Were you impressed with that? Or do you expect to see Arteta make some big changes in this game?
First and foremost, I think this week is going to be very different from last week. I mean, with respect, James, going to Old Trafford, first game in the season, away from home against one of your long-time rivals. They just brought in Cunha and Waymo, Sesko. That was never going to be easy. And not to say that you guys are going to be easy, but, putting things into context. Last week was last week. This week is this week. We're at home. Ground's going to be full. It's our first home game of the season. Expectations are going to be high. The mood around the club right now is buzzing, especially with you. Probably heard the news that we're about to sign Eze. We've had a good transfer window. And yeah, man, I think the expectations is high. The aspirations that we're going to win the league, or if not win, then be serious challengers. And if we think we are who we are, no disrespect, but we should be beating Leeds at home. It's as simple as that.
You should be. And as I touched on in numerous videos, we are a depleted squad right now because we are not finished in the transfer market yet. We aren't finished in the transfer market. A lot of the players we've brought in, Calvert-Lewin and Okafor, have only just come in. They haven't had time to adapt to Farke's system, his ideology. We have also yet to bring in a recognised number 10. Our squad is nowhere near the finished article. So if there is a good point in the season to play Leeds, it is probably right now while we're still scattergunning around trying to finish the squad off. Obviously,
that being said, though, I saw the extended highlight. I was out, so I didn't see all the game. Yeah. But I'm reliably informed that you guys played really well, and you should have won by more than just 1-0.
We should have.
So you are coming into this game with some good vibe behind you. So that helps.
Some good vibe in a way, but bad vibes at the same time. Good vibe because we controlled a lot of the game. I think our midfield dominated, and our midfield is the key for me. Games are won and lost in the midfield, and this is the best midfield I've seen Leeds have for years even. Statch, Tanaka, Longstaff backup, Ampadu, who's looking like a man reborn in there, is very, very good. But you look at our forward areas, we could not finish to save our life, mate. We have no movement up there. It's like a still image at times. Lemaitra's not the most rapid of players. Perrault hasn't got the most slick, dynamic movement. Dan James is yet to really adapt to the Premier League, and Nonto again is also yet to adapt.
Before, right?
He has, and he wasn't very impressive in the Premier League before. And the question marks is whether he can get back to that level. So offensively, we have a lot of issues. We're quite stagnant. So that would worry me, especially against a side like Arsenal, because when we play like we did against Everton, we were quite fortuitous to get the penalty in the way we did, in my opinion. And if it wasn't for that penalty, we would have potentially lost that game, because I've seen Leeds play like that so many times. Dominate possession, not do anything with it, and then get caught on the counter. And you lot are lethal on the counter.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of see this game playing out slightly different because I'll be honest with you, bro. I can't see you having too much of the ball come Saturday. Arsenal, as we all know, are a very possession-based side. We do keep the ball very well, sometimes a bit too well, if that makes sense. I strongly suspect that you guys are going to come and deploy the low block, because I think if you try to engage us further up the pitch, that's pretty much suicide. So I think Leeds will drop back into 2 banks of 4, whatever it is, You'll deploy a low block. You'll try and make it difficult. I think you'll try and hit us on the counter. You do have some pace with the likes of Dan James and Nonto. So I expect you to try and use those guys when you get the ball. I mean, listen, you are right. Your midfield is probably your strongest area. I do like Ampadu. Yeah. Good player. Is he going to be all right? Because he did pick up quite a big knock.
Yeah, did pick up quite a bit of a knock. And if he isn't all right, we've got Longstaff to fill in. So that's not exactly the worst outcome. But hopefully everything seems decent on that front right now.
I mean, it's interesting to note that you saying that your midfield is your strongest area.
Okay, your midfield's not too shabby either, is it?
Exactly. Zubamendi, Rice and Odegaard.
What have you made of Zubamendi?
Oh, he's been brilliant in pre-season.
Yeah.
It wasn't so good last week. But then, like I said, last week was last week, this week is this week. Totally different games, totally different scenarios. Like I said, if we are who we think we are, then playing Leeds at home, no disrespect, my guy, but we're supposed to be slapping you up.
But who do you think you are? Because I've heard a lot of mixed reports from a lot of Arsenal fans, some feeling very confident, some feeling very pessimistic about the way things are going, especially after the Noddy Madueke signing example. Obviously, Gyökeres has changed that a little bit, brought a bit of life in the club. How would you analyse it? Being around Arsenal, what's the feel?
You gave two categories, very confident and not so confident. I'm in the confident. I'm not saying that we're going to blow in everyone out the water and win the league, because obviously that's not going to happen. It's going to be a very tightly contested Premier League this season, probably the most competitive in recent years, I would say, between Liverpool, ourselves and Man City, and maybe even somebody could sneak up on the outside, maybe a Chelsea or something like that, I don't know. But what I would say is this, we will be in thereabouts come the end of the season. I strongly believe that. I think we've had a really good transfer window. I think if you look at Arsenal, everything's aligning for us to make a really strong challenge this season. And again, if we are who we think we are, or I think Arsenal are, we're supposed to be beating Leeds at home. It should be a no-brainer. And that's no disrespect to Leeds, because me personally, I've said it to you off air, I'll say it on air. It's great to have Leeds back in the Premier League. I think they're a great team. I'm a lot older than you. When I was a young man, Leeds were the big thing.
The Dom Revy days, yeah.
So it's great to see Leeds back in the Premier League, and I mean that sincerely. Got a great fan base, or one city club.
Yeah.
I've been to Leeds several times. My brother went uni up there, so I know about the place. I know about the history, the people. It's great to see Leeds back in the Premier League. That being said, business is business, and we're going to take care of business on Saturday, James.
Yeah.
3-0.
Do you think you have enough in the squad though to challenge on all fronts this year? Are you not worried? Because I think last year you saw there was, issues and deficiencies in your wide area specifically, which caught up to you at the end of the year. Do you think you have enough within this squad moving forward?
I do. I think we've had a very good window. I'm made up about the Eze signing. Okay, some people have made the criticism, and I do hear it, that the attack is a little imbalanced between the right and the left. You've got Saka, those guys operating on the right. On the left-hand side with Martinelli, Trossard and possibly Madueke, we've not been so strong. However, I think the acquisition of Eberechi Eze is an outstanding acquisition. He can play as a creative left-sided forward. He can also play as a number 10. Luckily for you guys, he won't be playing this week. Otherwise, I'll be predicting 5-0. But I still think we got more than enough to get the job done. I expect Martinelli to start and Madueke come on, or Trossard later on in the game. So yeah, listen, man, in all areas we got some really.
You expect Madueke to start today, then?
I wouldn't be against Madueke starting. I'll tell you why. Because as I've said to you previously, James, I expect that we will have a lot of the ball on Saturday, and I think you guys will sit deep. And I think if you have Madueke, the one thing that I've spoken to Chelsea fans about this, and they all say, even the fans that didn't really rate him that highly, the one thing that they all said about Madueke is that he's a good dribbler. He's aggressive insofar as he likes to take on the fullback. He does get the team up the pitch. Those are the types of things you need when you're coming up against a team that deploys a low block. You want a winger that's going to try and go past the fullback, make things happen. And so I wouldn't mind throwing a curveball in there and starting with Madueke, but I suspect that the manager will at least start with Martinelli, and then maybe later on in the game, 65, 70 minutes, you'll probably make a change.
Yeah, nice. Just because I do disagree that Madueke would be able to impact the game. I think Jaden Bogle or Goodmanson, whoever would be targeted with him, would absolutely clean them out of the game. Personally, yeah, real good fullbacks we've got this year. I don't think he's quite the man to cut the mustard now. Saka, some of the other players on the other hand, Trossard, I think could pose a little bit more of a threat. But you tell the fans now, as a lot of Leeds fans probably watching, who are the danger men that Leeds need to look out for this Saturday? Who's going to cause the problems for Arsenal, and what is your overall score prediction?
Well, my answer to that is that we've got danger men right throughout the team.
Yeah,
we've got players who can score. Literally every player in that team, well, obviously Ryan, can score goals. But for this Saturday, watch out for Gyökeres, obviously, or Gyökeres as you've been. Gyökeres. Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a very good game last week, but it's his first home Premier League game in front of the fans, so he'll be desperate to put on a performance worthy of the name. I could see him scoring. Obviously, you mentioned Saka, Zubamendi, Declan Rice, Odegaard. You know what I'm saying? There's so many players that can impact the game that we've got. We've got so many good players in that side that at least 2 or 3 of them are going to come through.
And also, it has to be noted, Gyökeres will have had a lot of experience in and around Leeds United because of his tenuous spells in the Championship.
Yeah, he was at Coventry, wasn't he?
Yeah, Coventry, plethora of clubs around that league, actually. So he'll have a lot of knowledge and experience coming to Leeds. But sorry, can I get a overall score prediction from you?
I'm going for a conservative 3-0.
Conservative 3-0?
Yep,
wow.
I am. And listen, when I say that, that is just based on my confidence. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just think that, you know what I mean, I just see us turning up on Saturday and putting out a statement.
Wow.
And it's just a shame that you guys are going to be the ones that are going to have to be the recipients of that statement. But
damn. Well, you are.
I'm going 3-0, and I'm saying that with confidence.
You are going to put out a statement. That is correct. Unfortunately for you, that statement is going to go down about as well as Alexander Isak's statement over this past weekend, like a lead balloon down low. For me personally, I'm going to have to say I think Statch is going to be again instrumental in anything we do this week. I'm going to have to hope someone in our offence, if he gives Ramazani some game time, I'll be very, very happy, and I think he can impact the game. I think it's going to be quite a cagey game. I think there's going to be devoid of a lot of quality in the final third from both sets of sides. I think we're going to cancel each other out a little bit, but I do think you will have the quality to exploit us and our holes defensively in the transition. I think Gyökeres will score, but I do believe we might just be able to nick one at the end. So I'm going 1-1. I'm keeping
I will say this. Listen, when I said 3-0, and don't get me wrong, I am sticking with a 3-0. When I'm saying 3-0, I'm not trying to say that with any kind of disrespect to Leeds. It's just where I see the two clubs. You've just come up into the Premier League, you're still making those adjustments. We are an established Premier League side. We should be like challenging for the title this season. We've spent a whole load of money on players. I think that there's a big, even you would have to agree, there's a big disparity in class.
Of course, mate. We were languishing in the Championship. You've been vying on all fronts for Champions League and Premier League. I would be disappointed if you didn't say you were going to beat us 3-0.
Exactly. So I guess what I'm saying is I do expect Leeds, I mean, they're not going to come and wet the bed. They will try and frustrate Arsenal. They will be, you know what I mean, solidly set up. They will have a structure that they will stick to. But I think it's a bit like boxing, mate. I think we will round by round, we'll break you down and we'll knock you out. 3-0.
Well, unfortunately for you, much like boxing, I think you will break us down round by round, but then get a little bit complacent in the 10th round, even when you put us down a couple of times and get clipped.
You'll come back and draw with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn
we'll
right.
see.
I've got to hope so. Got to hope so anyway. But it's been a pleasure talking to you as always, Laurie.
Respect,
let them know what you've got going on your new channel. You've had operating for over a year now, LL Sports TV.
LL Sports TV, we do football, we do boxing, we do some social commentary stuff as well, but make sure you check us out. And also, obviously, you can check me out on DR Sports and also on AFTV.
You can indeed, mate. A real underrated asset of the team on all fronts. Amazing at everything he does. Boxing, football, Arsenal, you name it. This guy's got it covered over here. Got to give big credit to you again, man. Always Always a pleasure linking up with you as always. But for now though, guys, it has been your boy JT. If you do want to stay up to date with everything on the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, tick that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And of course, Saturday, 5:30, be there or be square, baby. We're going to be live on the channel for the Leeds United versus Arsenal game. Make sure you tune in. For now though, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.